Hello everyone, welcome to day 128 of playing chess every day for you. Let's find the game. We're starting as black here, and we get c4, and I could immediately play d5, but I think it's better to play e5 here, and knight to c6 seems good. I could also play d5 now, or I could just develop my knight to f6 first. I think I'll play knight to f6. Could strike the center now, which seems good. And so I play d5 here. My opponent just defends. I could take, I could push. Don't have to take, I could just develop. Could also play c5 myself. Just trying for a strong center. I think taking just opens up the bishop, but it's already open anyway, so I think I'll just take here and develop my other knight. Bishop takes. I am seeing this as weak, but I can't really attack it. I think I'll just play knight c6 here. Just standard. Trading off the bishop would be great for me, but I can't do it right now without weakening my position. Opponent brings their knight, which is good. I could pin it, but I just get kicked away. If I pin it and get kicked away, I could go here. If they push, I'd take. And that does create a weakness around my opponent's king, so if they kick me this way, I just take. If they kick me, I play f5. If they play e4, they just leave the pin. If I take, the bishop takes. I wish I had this move, but at the moment I don't. And take, the bishop takes. And I have more space, but it's not great. If the knight moves, I won't be attacking anything. If I go for the queen here, I don't have any moves to attack it. So I'll just trade. Could play bishop c5, but then I get kicked away. I think I'll play bishop d6, or even bishop e7 here, just trying to castle. Bishop d6 just blocks my queen in, so I don't like it. Play bishop e7 for now. My opponent castles. I will castle also. They attack this, but it's already defended. And if I could attack this, I would, but it's defended. I could push, but that just loses a pawn after this trade. But I'd win the rook, so I think pushing is possible here. This square would be very good for my knight, but I'll just push. It's a weird move. If they trade my knight off, the rook hangs, so they can't recapture this. They jump in to attack the pawn. It's a good move. If after rook e8, if they capture the pawn, I have this move, which is a discovered attack on the knight, and also attacks the bishop, so I play rook e8 here. If they take, I take here, I'm quite sure. So if they took e4, I take here. So they offer this. If I take bishop takes and then I have this move. If they took, I'd have discoveries, so they don't. I could take now, but it doesn't do anything. I'll just take. If the bishop takes, I can jump in to attack it. And then I could also have queen in. So, although knight in does hang this pawn, but if knight in, bishop takes, and I trade, I don't have a fork. So I need to defend this. Could just slide the queen up, double up on this. I'll bring my other rook. The knight's threatening this pawn. I could come in, which hits the knight and kind of forces a queen trade. This move, if the queen moves, I pick up the knight. If the queen goes here, I just trade. And then I come in, so queen in has to be the best move. If the bishop comes in, that's a blunder, so queen in, an active move. My queen's very strong. After a trade, I'm also hitting this. The knight is attacked. If the queen moves anywhere, if my opponent trades, I'm attacking this. After this trade, I would lose a pawn. I'm kind of forcing a queen sacrificer, or queen trade. And that's what happens. There's this move which defends the knight. But this move, I just come here. The knight can't take. Doubling up seems very good. Because of this weak bishop. I think if my opponent just pushes this, I'll just double up. They have to protect this. They did push. I could kick the bishop, but the bishop would just move. I think doubling up's the best choice. I could go after the bishop, but the bishop would just take. I think I just double up and go after this. So if the bishop decides to take, my opponent win a pawn and be threatening a fork. The bishop just moves to defend this. Could kick the knight here, but the knight just takes here. Knight takes here is possible this whole time as well, so I could jump in, trying to just hit the bishop, and also threatening to take. This knight move looks very interesting. The bishop takes, I'm happy. This knight move, the bishop doesn't take, I'm actually threatening to take here, which is a fork. If the opponent takes, I win a rook, so this knight move seems so good. Seems like a great idea. The bishop moves here, so I'm threatening to take e3 here, which I see as a good tactic. I'm hitting the bishop. The knight's defended twice. Taking might be the best move, but I just take. Taking e5 or taking e3 here is so good. It's a fork with loads of pressure, and if they recapture, I actually win a piece. I win a rook. It seems like such a weird move, but I think it makes sense. And also, if they just push, I'll still play e3 with the same idea. And so they do trade. Now if I take with this rook, this hangs. But then I can take this. Take the piece. No. So if I took the piece, so if I took this, they took and I took, I win 2 pieces on the rook, but so taking here is wrong now. So obviously I have to recapture her. I'm just thinking about with which rook. With this one seems more accurate, but this rook can't be touched right now, so I'm just thinking of taking this one. Because if the knight takes anyway, so I'll just take with this rook, I think. If my opponent takes here, and they do, could take him, but they just take. So now the knight hits my rook. Could go back here. The knight just jumps back. So I have to just step back, hit the knight. He only has this square. Maybe I play bishop g5, trying to take this, which would be great for me. Knight back. I'm playing bishop g5, just taking on e3 with the same tactic. It seems so aggressive, but I think it's the right move. If the rook comes in, I just take. This also comes with check. So if they don't take, I'll just take here. I still think it's a big threat. Down 1 pawn, and it's this one. My opponent has the central pawns, but I'm the one with pressure here. Obviously, if I take e3 with check, it's a huge threat. The rook comes over to defend. I could take here, but the problem is the knight takes. So I think I can kick the knight away now, because the knight seems to be trapped. I can only go here. And after knight trade, if the pawn takes, I think I'm able to take here. But I have to be careful about my back rank problems. I think I have to play h6 soon. After we trade knights on d4. But that just hangs the knight. So now I'm very confused about what my opponent's going for. That just hangs the knight. So my opponent could have gone here. Just go into a trade. I don't think I'm missing anything. My opponent just hung the piece, I'm quite sure. And now I can jump in. So that's just a bad move, I just take. Now I'm once again threatening to take. That doesn't do anything. If I take, the rook can take. If I take and the rook takes, I take the rook. And if they take, I take with check. If I take and the pawn takes, I take. And the rook is defended. I take and the pawn takes. So if I take and the pawn takes, I go for this. And this is pinned. If I take and the rook takes, I can take the rook. And if the pawn takes, I take with check, so this is a check anyway. I just have to not hang back rank checkmate. So if the rook takes, I'm very happy. I win the piece. King steps over. So this is obviously a threat, which is the fork. I do have a big back rank problem here. Every move I make has to be a check after I move the bishop. I can't take this way as well. I can't play this because of back rank mate. A back rank checkmate is such a problem here. Could slide the rook back. If I slide the rook back and the king moves in, back rank will be protected. And I can't play this right now. Could play this move, but if the bishop takes, it's the same problem. I'll just play h6 here if the king comes in and take like this. If the king takes, I take. The pawn takes. Such a weird position here. So the rook takes, but I can just take the rook now. Because my opponent can't take back. Because it would be a check. King over. I can't defend my rook by going to e7, so I could come in up here and win this. This check doesn't work. The bishop can take. I could come in to defend and to attack this. I can also just move, which seems much better. Threatening to take here, and pieces on knight squares, so the bishop can't hit them. I can actually just take her. A rook check doesn't achieve anything, I just move. I'll just take her, threatening this fork. If a rook check happens, I just move. Obviously trading here just wins me the game. I'm threatening a fork as well. On c2, they just make room. I'll go for the fork. It gives a check to escape the fork, but I just slide over. I could actually just trade this bishop, but I think it's just best to push her. I could also go to kick the bishop. Could go for checks, but I think I'll just simply try to remove the bishop. My king's on the light square, so it can't be checked by the bishop. If they go here, I lose a pawn, but I win more, so I'd be happy to go for that. If rook b8 happens, I think I still just push. Rook a8 instead. I'm just trying to remove the bishop, so I have this check. My pawn takes, I take. Now the bishop has to move. Wherever the bishop moves, I have a check. This knight also stops the king from coming here, which is amazing. And also here. If the bishop takes, I take, and I defend this as well. Rook takes. I take the piece. I'm just threatening checks. The king is completely cut off. Could give another check to win this. If the king goes here, I take this. And it's actually mate if the king goes to h4. It would be checkmate. So I could give another check. Or I could just take. Could give this check if the king goes here. So this check, if the king goes here, I have this check. I'll just keep it simple and take. I can be pinned, but it's no big problem. King over to hit the rook. I have this check, forcing the king away. I can also just take. If I get attacked again, and I can't be attacked again because of my knight. Also, if the king steps to d5, I just have a clean fork. Rook over, I have this check. I also have this check. And the king comes in. I'll just go for the check. If the king steps, the king is just completely cut off by my knight. I can go for this check. And if the king steps here, I have this. I can also just try the rook trade. I'll just go for the check. I have this. And then rook d2 is coming. Yes, so now I just trade the rook. And here I just simply push. And my opponent resigns because they have no pieces left, so let's see this game. I played at an 84.9, my opponent is 77.7. My opponent had one huge blunder this game. I had 2 misses and no mistakes. I played like a 1700, my opponent like a 1550. I played very well here. These moves were okay. Trading wasn't best. I should have played the queen up. Pushing was wrong. Taking was the best choice. And queen in was a good move. I had knight in. Why? This would be such a weird line. We'd trade knights. It'd be so weird. Doubling up is actually wrong. So knight d5 was good. What would happen if my opponent didn't trade off the knight and played something else? Would e3 be a good move? This would be a blunder. Oh, because then the rook would be defended. What if the bishop was in a different square? What if the bishop was... I mean, this would be a blunder, but... So taking here now is the best move. It's the second best move. And they can't recapture, because that would just be terrible. And this was just a blunder of the knight. I thought my opponent would surely just play d4. Knight d4 and trade. For some reason they played knight a7, which just gives up the knight. It's just a straight blunder. Now I can take here. Yeah, so I just trapped the bishop. Then all these moves are good. I can force a rook trade here, which basically just wins me the game, and my opponent resigns. So that will be it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.